How I turn product images into animated AI videos with AI products. My name's Ricky Hayes, and today we're going to go into how you can turn product images into animated AI videos that is really high converting. So this is part of the series. I'll be making a number of videos on this, but let's get straight into it. So I'm on my desktop, and firstly what you need to do is you need to find a great ad, right? An ad you want to reference. You can see for this example, I've just chosen this ad. It has 1.9k views. I could probably find better ones, of course, but for the example of this, it's a good ad. I liked it. It's for products that have good posture focus on chairs, which I thought was great. So then we've chosen that and we can use that as reference. Watch the whole video, learn from the whole video is strongly what I recommend you start with. From there, then you can go into fdown.net. All the links for these will be down below, not affiliated with any of these, and that you just copy the link, get the shared link, paste it in there, download it in high quality so you have that on your computer. Once you then have that, then you can use a tool like Descript where you can then use the transcription tool where you upload the video. It takes about 5 minutes, depending obviously the length, and then it will give you the output of the text. It's free, so there's no cost there involved at all. There's other tools, of course, too, but this one does the job just fine. They're all much of a muchness. So now you've got the video, you've got the transcription. What you also want to do is you want to go to the website and check out the product. So this is the actual brand, and you can see it is a very reputable brand for great chairs. I prefer Secret Lab, but great chairs nonetheless. And what you want to do is you want to use a Chrome extension called Image Downloader. It's free. As I said, link down below to just take you straight there and you can download it. And what it allows you to do is on the website, you can then click here. You can either put in the URL, or what I generally do is you go to the page and it shows you all the images. Look at them all. Right? If I were to download that individually, a lot of them don't allow you to, like for instance, Day Beautify theme, you have your shop protection, won't allow you, but this sort of even that gets around it. So you can see all the images from this page, quality images. Don't choose dim images like these. When you make the AI images, it won't look good. You want to choose preferably images like this with a nice white background, as well as ones with close-ups as well, because you want to show the benefits of your product as much as possible here too, as we go down this path. The approach that I have when doing this is it's not just about getting the images and throwing this all together, it's also psychology. So there's a few things. One, it needs to be mobile optimized, so like that video. Two, it needs to have someone in it. Videos do better when they're more natural as opposed to just here's a product. Okay, if you see someone using it, it feels natural. It make it want to feel as if you're watching an Instagram or TikTok video, then it's going to get a lot more engagement. So that's what I focus on. And in future videos, I'll be perfecting more of this as well. For the sake of this example, this is a good starting point. You can then tick as many as you want and download them. As a tip, what I do is I just make a folder in my downloads and I call it chair. I call it chair underscore downloaded images, just so I have it all in one place. Otherwise you can get lost because it'll just download it with some really random string. So it can get a little bit confusing there. Okay, so now we have reference images, now we have transcription, and we have the video. So we have 3 parts that allow us to now start moving ahead with actually putting pieces of the puzzle together. At this point, we start to use ChatGPT. So you can see here that, hold on, no, I'll start that again. I'm going to start that again. Starting ChatGPT 1, 2, 3. All right, so now I'm in ChatGPT and you can see that I've just copied the script that it's given me, and then I've optimized it a bit so where it basically has done that. I think I made another chat where it made a similar one. Because I've called it Comfo Chair and I've added a bit of a call to action. And then I said make it a raw script so it's just all just nicely put together. And then I said you want to help me make a 30-second video ad based on this back chair, like the Ergo Tune that has 5 variations. Now, I made a custom GPT. The GPT is down below. Just shared it. You can use it. I'm always upgrading it, so you should get constant upgrades to it. I'm going to be doing more upgrades after this video to help you with this, and I'll give you more recommendations as well. As a tip, regardless of how good a GPT tool is, a custom GPT, you also should know prompt engineering. Very important element to understand there, but I just want to sort of say that as we go through this. So you can see it's like from pain to power, hook, and it breaks down each scene. And that's from the custom GPT. When I went through these and read them, I kind of like number 2, woman in a sleek office, like the hook, 8 hours at my desk used to feel like a marathon. Oh, yeah, it does, doesn't it, when you're not comfortable? But I really gravitated to 4 and 5. Sweaty, sore and stuck. Not anymore. No one likes to be sweaty, sore and stuck in a chair. So, I thought that was great. And I've tried them all and they all failed me. So I said combine 4 and 5. And it basically just came out with an output. Sweaty, sore and stuck. I've tried every chair and they've all failed me. There we go. Doesn't that just sound great? I've tried it. It just is really at the core of what a lot of people want. Sweaty, sore and stuck. No one wants that. So then anyway, moving on, I like this script. I ignore the tagline. I will remove that. And the end scene, I'm going to be updating that where it will say like call to action, but same thing. So I said for scene 5, make it about increased productivity. I didn't feel it was good. It said a montage, but I wanted it to change. So I was like a montage of typing quickly and confidently, because when you're more comfortable on a chair, right, your productivity increases. You're not moving around, you're comfy, and you're able to focus, right? So it's a very clear thing that I just... When you're also making these, this is where you need to think of prompt engineering, but you also need to think about what the user wants, right? So you can't just rely 100% on this. This does 90%. The last 10% is your creativity throughout this, right? And have a call to action to purchase it too. So boom, I said for each scene, I want to make it into an AI image prompt that aligns to each scene, and the end scene should have a call to action, right? So each of these scenes, that's why I do it this way, is that... pardon me, that it then makes a prompt. And specifically, it'll say create a mobile image prompt for all. I just add that in to make it very clear. Even with this, at times it can be a little bit hit and miss, especially ChatGPT 5. I found it's a bit hit and miss because it's being spammed. But is that you want it mobile optimized, like the video we've just downloaded. It's mobile optimized. Again, we want to make it TikTok, Instagram, YouTube short style, which is mobile optimized, right? So I always add that in. And then what I do from there is, now I've used my GPT enough, I make a project, okay? Because you get lost in all the chats. I don't know about you. As a strong tip, you get lost in a lot of chats here. So I made a project. I just called it, in this example, back chair. You can see I have a few here that I've done, and I'll probably delete a few of these. These were from yesterday. I actually did a video yesterday. It just wasn't to my standards. So I just went, I'm redoing all of this again and started fresh. What you can do is you can upload all the files. So if you get all the files you've downloaded from that website and the video, anything, even the AI images, re-upload it there. You're basically just building this into a great little project that helps you for this product, especially if it's a winning product, you want to make more creatives. It really, really helps. From there, what I did was that I got the image, and what I wanted to do is, in a future video, I'll explain it more, that what you preferably want to try and do is establish the person in the video, right? The hardest part is getting the person. And if you want to make it as organic as possible and transition as possible, you want to make sure that you have nice pictures of the person in that you want in the video, so it seems as authentic and real as possible. So I uploaded the image and I said scene 1, and I copied the prompt. For some reason I got confused. And then I said, same thing, make this into an image, make this scene with the image uploaded into an AI image, right? So, boom, there you go, sweaty, sore, uncomfortable. There we go, there's my AI image of that person. And then I said, from the image, use to make an AI video prompt. And basically, that's all you do for each scene. I start a new chat, I rename it, then so I know the scene, so I can go back easily, and can easily then reverse engineer this. Okay, so it's create a 5-second, she's fanning herself. Now I found as well that I actually had to take out anything that was inappropriate. When we get to it, which is Cling.ai, it actually was saying that something about this was inappropriate. So it took, it reworded some parts, and it was able to get through, right? So it's where as well, you'll have to do a bit of prompt engineering, but by having it all in one chat in a project, it makes it super easy to find and go back to, because you'll want to do iterations. If you want to do multiple hooks, so on and so forth, and keep adding to the project. Just a little side tip, it's just more an organization thing, and the more that you build that project, the easier it becomes to make these images. Keep in mind, as a little additional tip, that this took me about 30-40 minutes, and a lot of it does take, the images do take some time to optimize. You can use Sora as well, but for the sake of this example, I'm just using these images to further help with this as well. Okay, so now we have our AI images, we have our video prompt. So what do we do next? So next we go into Cling.ai. So in Cling, you just want to go to the video section, choose 2.1. You can choose 2.1 master, but I've found 2.1 is fine. And you can see here that, like, I made some of these yesterday, and see how, like, I mean, just look at that, right? It's very bad transition there. So again, it's not perfect, and that's where you're going to have to prompt engineer it. But you can see that what I've done today is, look at that. You know, that was just from a nice prompt engineering that had a clear image, and I'll delete those so it's not confusing. All you need to do is upload your AI image and then the prompt with it, and that's why you put it in a separate chat, so it's just easy, so you can just go through it. You can't upload multiple images. I wish you somewhat could, because then you could give it more context, because I'd give it more images sort of to break down the scene. But, you know, for what it's worth, it's pretty damn good, right? And obviously you can do things like lip sync if you wanted it to talk and so forth as well. I actually turned off the sound effects. It is free, but I found that the sound effects are actually really bad. And I use Camtasia, or a lot of people use CapCut, much the same, right? Just depends on which one you prefer. Where I add my captions, and I'll add my audio in a moment, which will just be an overlay of someone talking. Because again, at the end of the day, when you want to make them, it's mainly someone talking, isn't it? When you think of Instagram, TikTok, and Reels, which is what we're focused on, which are the best type of ones, it's basically just someone talking, right? And it doesn't have to be them talking at you at the screen. It can just be an overlay that works quite well. So you can see I've made my 5 different ones. Now there's this one that has, as you can see, it's got a few issues, right? So this is where some editing, I would sort of edit that. But the other part is, you can see that the lady that has been generated isn't really that good. Whereas the other ones, it's the same lady. So this is where you can see that there's some differences. And that's the hard part about this, and about why you want to get the image of the person as much as possible, as best as possible. You can see this is 90% correct. As a starting point, I would say this is pretty good, right? Considering this took me a total of 2-3 hours to do, between, you know, testing and everything, that I can improve. Now, each one costs you 20 credits as well. So you get $300 credits for $5. So what's that? 15 of these, so, you know, for $5, honestly, cheap as chips, and it takes about 5 minutes, and it uses DeepSeek, right? So you can use all these, but I just use the prompt and upload an image and just let it go. Okay, so that's pretty much it for that. The last things that we have that I'm going to do is I'll show you in Camtasia just to put together, but most importantly, we're going to also go back into ChatGPT now, and we're going to make our audio script. Okay, so our audio script to align to these videos as much as possible, so that way we have audio with it, right? So that it sticks out, right? Because you can make video with audio with these as well, but I just find that for this example, at least, as I further perfect more of this, that you can add AI sound too, right? So if you want to add AI sound, you can do all of this editing and so forth as well, to make it and break it down as much as you want. But you can see, pardon me, that it's pretty good. Like, you can add all that, but we're going to use a tool called 11 Labs to help us with that. 2, 3. All right. So now I'm in Camtasia. I just use that for the sake of today's video. That's just my preference. You can see that I've got these 5 videos, and then aside from, like, that transition's actually pretty good. And you can see now that it is a total, because just over 25 seconds. So from here, I'm like, okay, beautiful. Because you might make more scenes, right? So, you know, you might do that adjustment. You can see that the only one that's really mostly out of place is this one, more with the lady, and that this transition. Right, so this is where you also need to do some editing, and I would do some editing there as well. For this type of product, this is exactly sort of what you need. But, you know, I would be doing some editing, cutting out some stuff. And that's where as well what you want to do is probably cut out some stuff first and then do the audio, because the more times you regenerate it in 11 labs, you only have a certain amount based on your plan. So just as a little tip. Starting the ChatGPT script, 1, 2, 3. All right, so now I'm back in ChatGPT, and what I had done is I copied all my scenes. I literally just made like a doc, copied them all, because you do some changes, and if you do, you want to align it to that. So then I just copied into a doc manually, and then I also copied the raw script as well. So you can see it up there, and then the all the scenes for the video prompts, right? So you can see all the scenes, and then wait a minute. I'm going to restart that. What the fuck? All right, so now I'm back in my original prompt that uses my GPT assistant. As I said, that's just down below, use it as you see fit. And all I did was I just went into a Google Doc, copied all the scenes and then across manually from each in the section in the project file, because if I've made any changes, I just want to make sure the scene's correct, and I want to make sure that I'm using the right script, right? Because as I said, throughout this, you finesse it and that a bit, so the end result is a bit different. So that way, what I've done is I've then gotten this as an output, and then again, check it, right? You know, check that it aligns and that you think it sort of fits well. As I said, I strongly recommend that you get the videos, do the editing of the videos, get the length of the videos, get the feel, and then go through this and do a bit more prompt engineering, right? Just so that, as you can see, what you're doing is you're building it, but you're also customizing it and getting it accurate. In a future one, I'll be updating this, and I'll be working more on this, and you'll see sort of a better edited version as well. But for today, this is fine. I'll copy that, and then what you want to do is you go into 11 labs. And you can see I've done one in the past. I'm going to do another one, and I'm going to just choose this lady called Alice. So the biggest problem that I have here is that you can see it's actually a minute in length, right? It's way too long. I was wondering if it would do that. So then we need to go back into ChatGPT, make it 50% shorter. It is too long, and align it to the original script and scenes. So this is again where you know, full transparency, why you need to go through that a bit. Much better. I can see that's already better. And then you go back here, I'm just going to paste that in there, generate speech. So what you might actually do is, this is the part where, you know, you want to actually maybe do some cuts. Maybe your video usually probably gets shorter. So that's what I mean by, like, this is actually 32 seconds, pardon me. So that's really, really good. Like 32 seconds is pretty good. The video total 25 seconds. So you'll probably do some cuts, and you can do some cuts of the audio as well. What you then do is you download the audio, and then we can put it in Camtasia. I'm just going to do that now, and let's sort of have a quick look. All right, so I'm just now in Camtasia, and you can see again the Cling, because you're not on a subscription. It also shows the watermark. I forgot to say so, because it's in this account, it's not. What I do is I actually go through the audio, and like I just do some cuts, right? So you can see here that if I scroll in, that, you know, I'm going to cut that. It's not far from perfect, you know, and that's sort of what I start doing. Okay, and if I were to cut all of that, you can see how much time has been saved now. You can see it's gone from 32 to like just over 30 seconds, you know. So you do some cuts, and you do some cuts there, and if we were to play it, right, so you can't probably actually hear it, but it actually sounds perfect, where I'm going to leave an example of the output of this in the Google Drive. You can go have a look at it yourself and use it as an example, but listening to it actually sounds really, really, really good, if I'm to be honest. The voice is American, which is sort of what I'm targeting as the demographic. I said I would do some more cuts in that, but just as an example, I'll do a little bit of that after this, and you can upload it and see it as you sort of see fit. But that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I'm going to be making another video that will have a much better version of this as well, but I wanted to give you sort of the guide frame on this anyway. So I hope this collectively has helped and has been informative for you. All right, so now you've seen how you can turn images into animated AI videos, step by step, full transparency. All the links and description and everything is in the description down below for you to get. I wanted to give a bit of a guide frame so you can use that as you sort of see fit. If you did like today's video, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment. If you have any questions, more than happy to help. The custom GPT is down below. The links, as I said, are all down below. None of them affiliate. I'm just wanted to make this. It's something I personally enjoy doing as well for my e-com brands and that as well. And it's also applicable to really any type of business. So that's where it's honestly, it's just really, really cool. So a few things that I should say is housekeeping. One, this is an AI generated stuff. Use it appropriately. I don't take any responsibility for how you use it. It's very important that you use it in an appropriate sense. Make sure that you're not being misleading, right? A lot of people can use these to be misleading. Don't do that. Be transparent when it comes to these first and foremost. I'm just teaching you a way that can save you a lot of time and a lot of money and do it all yourself very easily. Okay, but at the end of the day, make sure that what you are selling and selling to people is genuine. Okay, and that you can back up the claims in that. Number three, you know, as well as that, I didn't say that, but you know, when I make the video, add captions as well as a little tip, because captions really, really help. You can do that in plenty of tools, like I said, Camtasia and CapCut. I will have the video down below that I've briefly edited, so you can have a look at sort of see the output. A general next tip would be, this took me from learning, applying, you know, testing, and I'm testing it as creatives now, about 4 to 6 hours to learn, right? So don't expect that you can just follow this. You know, it will be a lot of trial and error. The next thing is, using a custom GPT like mine is great, and it really will help. It's really important that you understand the backbones of this. So please make sure you're doing your testing, make sure you're doing that as well. These tools are far from perfect, as you can sort of see. Transitions, get it wrong. Also recommend that you learn some basic video editing skills. I'm by no means and amazing at it, but you know, as I said, there's plenty of tools, especially on like CapCut. I've just used Camtasia for a long time. where you can do that, and make sure that you're adding that it's always mobile optimized, that you're adding captions, and that you're using some good audio. You can use the Cling.ai audio depending on the product, but personally, I personally prefer the voiceovers. That's sort of, you want to focus on that Instagram, TikTok, Reels type content is what people are really looking for and what works really well when it comes to Facebook ads. If you want to learn more about Facebook ads, because obviously a lot of this is about that, check out other videos in my channel as well. There's links down below. Otherwise, I did want to say thank you so much for your time.